So I'll admit I've been procrastinating and watching movies recently, and I haven't watched anything new very recently, but I did realize that there's a film that I watched on streaming services a while back that I just never reviewed. Let's talk about that today. Intro. Take one. Hey guys, how's it going? Steve here, and today we're going to be talking about Borat Subsequent Moviefilm. No, I am not going to say the entire title like they did at the Academy Awards nominations or any other award shows. I'm just calling it Borat Subsequent Moviefilm. Directed by Jason Woliner and starring Sacha Baron Cohen and Maria Bakalova. After the events of the first film, Borat has become somewhat of a pariah in his home nation of Kazakhstan. Despite this, he gets what appears to be a chance to prove his worth by delivering a gift to higher-ups in the United States. With his daughter coming along for the ride, Borat observes and attempts to learn about American culture, elections, and COVID-19. And speaking of COVID-19, some unrelated good news. I just got my second vaccination dose. No side effects yet, but we'll see. But yes, second dose of vaccination complete. I am super excited about this. No matter how bad the side effects are, I will take the side effects to having actual COVID-19 any day. But let's get on with the review again. So obviously, this is a sequel to an existing film, and I will admit that I liked the first Borat, and some think it's aged well, others don't think it's aged so well. But regardless, the first Borat was this giant sensation of a film, and obviously you're gonna have to worry about a sequel coming out to it because usually sequels are not as good as the original, even if the original is not a controversial film. Is the second Borat film worth watching? Is it as good as the first film? Well, honestly, I did enjoy it. I didn't think it was as good as the first film, but it did definitely have its strengths. I feel compelled to talk about the lead performances in this film, not just because I always talk about performances in a film at the first part of the review, but because they really are that good. Sacha Baron Cohen, as always, is excellent in the lead, and I might be biased there because I really like him as an actor and as a comedian and as somebody who is definitely a political activist in the way he carries out his performances. But the real star of this film is Maria Bakalova, who matches Sacha Baron Cohen's performance to a T and even upstages him at some points. Honestly, there's a reason why she was nominated for an Oscar for this role. There is a reason why she's gotten so many accolades. It's not just hubbub around it. She really is that good. She's gonna go places after this role. I guarantee it. She deserves it. For the most part, the film is very funny. I will admit that there are some jokes that just flat out don't land in this film, but a lot of them land really well. And a lot of this has to do with the improvisational nature and the guerrilla style filmmaking that they took with this film. And honestly, one thing I absolutely have to commend with this film and how they shot this, and Sacha Baron Cohen and Maria Bakalova especially, is how ingrained they were and the risks they took in making this film. This was a very risky film to make. Regardless of what I think of the film, I have to commend them for taking that risk. There were some times where, after reading some interviews and articles about the making of the film, there were times where I wouldn't be exaggerating it if I said that they put their lives on the line. Now, obviously, that brings about the conversation of should you do that for the sake of art? And usually I think that the answer to that is no, but the reason why Sacha Baron Cohen wanted to do this is obviously because he wants to make a point about some of the ridiculous things that go on in the world. And obviously there are going to be some questions about the authenticity of some of the things that are depicted in the film. For example, a particular rally that happens toward the end of the film, there have been questions called up about the authenticity of how that played out in the film. But regardless, it does show how much ridiculousness goes on. A lot of films try to be satirical, but instead of actually having a point, they just try to be as outrageous as possible. This film, even though it is trying to be very outrageous, does have a point. But there is something about this film kind of being in the shadow of the original Borat that does kind of take away from it, although that could just be my take on sequel syndrome, if you will. But regardless, I do have to say that if you liked the first Borat, then you're probably going to like this film. And that's it for today's review, everyone. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. It really helps out with the YouTube algorithm and helps people who don't know about my content but would like to see content like this find my channel easier. And if you're new here and you want to actually see more of what I do, go ahead and hit the subscribe button to subscribe to my channel. And if you actually want to be notified when I post a new video, instead of just finding one every great now and then in your feed, go ahead and hit the bell icon so you can be notified when I post a new video. And with that, have a good night, and I'll see you later.